Hello everybody and welcome to the Gold Mine Report, where we talk about all things 49ers all the time. My name is Jeff Malinoff, and today, it's not really Victory Monday. I mean, we did win yesterday against the Detroit Lions. It was 41-33. It doesn't feel like a win. I think I speak for every 49er fan, every player on that 49ers team, and every staff member of that 49ers organization when I say that felt more like a loss than a win. I've never actually felt more bummed out about a win than I did yesterday. It just didn't feel right. It started off great. First half, 31 points, 31-10. Wrap it up, this game's done. And then things start to fall apart. First and foremost, I think it was the defense. That kind of fell apart more than the offense. The offense played amazing. We'll get into that in a little bit, but I want to talk about the defense. First couple of plays the Lions had on offense was pretty rough. Runs down the middle. DeAndre Swift just kept pushing the ball right up the middle. Couldn't really stop him. Got a lot of 10-plus yardage, 9-plus yardage runs right up the middle, right down the throats of the 49ers front defensive line. And I do think a lot of that has to do without Kinlaw. Kinlaw being out hurt that. Obviously, you could tell how much that affected the middle of the line. And seeing that was a pretty big, here we go. Then they stopped on fourth down in the first drive. I'm like, all right, we can pick things up. Immediate snap of the fumble by Garoppolo. It was all in Garoppolo. And then a turnover immediately. Defense still held them. Nothing. They missed a field goal. Felt pretty good after that. And then they turned up the heat. Raheem Mostert had 2 rushes for 20 yards, then came back with a knee injury. Oh boy, here we go again. Injuries galore. Elijah Mitchell comes in and absolutely torches the Lions defense. Goes over 100 yards and a big touchdown in the first half for Elijah Mitchell. And then we see Trey Lance coming out of nowhere and scores first professional touchdown. First of many, hopefully. Right to Sherfield, his boy from the preseason. Does his job. Gets the first passing touchdown in his career. Again, congratulations to Trey Lance. Again, let's hope that's one of many. So it was looking good. Then the defense stepped up. Really good defense. Bosa looked kind of slow at the beginning. I think he was just being cautious about his knee, not trying to overplay it. And then he gets his first sack of the season. Bullying Penei Sewell, the first-round draft pick for the Detroit Lions, gets that sack on Goff. He's gotten sacks on Goff before, so it wasn't anything new to Bosa, just he was in a different jersey at the time. So that was nice to see Bosa get his first sack back. Ford played well himself. Kadavier Street gets his first career sack. He had a sack last year, but it was called for roughing the passer. And speaking of roughing the passer, why is if someone stretches their arm, like Armstead stretches out his arm to go after the quarterback, hits him in the face mask, that's roughing the passer. He's got a helmet on. He's not hitting him in the face. He hit him right here. Right there. Hit him right there. And moved his face mask a little bit. But calling that roughing the passer is absolutely horrendous. It is. It's absolutely horrendous. The roughing the passer calls have been so terrible these last couple of years. It's kind of ruining the game almost. But I don't want to complain about the rest. There's already too much of that going on, but that one call was absolutely atrocious. I had to just mention that. But then, again, the Niners kicked off. Deebo Samuel goes off 189 yards receiving and a touchdown. Everything's looking good. Halftime, 31-10. All those mistakes were made up for in points, and then the third quarter happens. Nothing a lot happens. We get another 10 points in, and nothing really changes. Everything kept pretty normal, kept being the same. And then the fourth quarter happens. And again, 31-10, that's pretty intense lead right there. 21-point lead, pretty steady. Then it goes up to 38-10. 28-point lead. 28-point lead. And then everything just fell apart. We put in our backups. On the defensive side of the ball, we put in our backups. They charged down the field and scored. But they had the backups in. But in between that time, Jason Verrett gets hurt. God, it's so not fair for him. Torn ACL. That's so heartbreaking because we all know how good he is and how injuries have literally destroyed his career. Because he is very good when he's on the field. Tears his ACL. Non-contact injury, which is usually ACL. See him crying on the sidelines going back to the locker room. He knows it. Everyone knows it. It's absolutely heartbreaking. Jason Verrett, our prayers are with you. It's just not fair because the guy is so talented. And it just that's so not fair. It just plain out not fair. That's what it is. And that sucked to lose him, for sure. Then the wheels kind of fell off a little bit. Touchdown, onside kick. Kittle plays it kind of weird. Bad bounce, right off his face mask. Recovered by Detroit. They score again. Then the Niners get the ball back. Charging on the field. They're doing really well. Garoppolo was good at getting away from pressure. I thought he was very good. He broke a couple of tackles during this game. I was very impressed by that. And he does it again. He rolls right. Gives a little sling right there to Debo. Debo gets the first down. Game over. Minute left. Game is over. Pop. Fumble. Covered by Detroit. I remember exactly what I did. I'll tell you what I did. Yeah, no. That's what I did. That's what happened. I went, yeah, oh. It was like time stood still. It's like, is this happening? Is this actually happening? Are we actually going to blow a 28-point lead to the Detroit Lions who are projected to be a top 5 pick? A tank year for them? Is this what's happening? Then we stopped them. Defense came through. Starters came in. Pressured the quarterback pretty well. Secondary did their job. And we held them. We held them. By the hair of our chinny chin chin, we managed to get out of there. Get out of Detroit with the W. 1-0. Unfortunately, everyone else in the NFC West just started to destroy their teams. Arizona destroyed Tennessee. LA destroyed Chicago. Seattle destroyed Indianapolis. So everyone is 1-0 here in the NFC West. So everyone's 0-0, basically, because it wasn't division matchups. If it was division matchups, a whole different story, but it's rough. Definitely rough. Next week, we get Philadelphia. In Philadelphia, so that's going to be a challenge. But looking at what this week holds, I think every Niner didn't feel good about that win. When you're on their necks, you gotta step hard. You gotta finish them. You can't let them get back up. That's what my basketball coach, always said. Once you're on their necks, you can't let them back up. You gotta keep pressing on against their foot on the neck. You gotta keep on with that. You can't let them up. And that's what the Niners did to Detroit. Managed to get away with the win. But next time, guys, we need to keep on their necks. I think it's, especially on the defensive side of the ball, I don't think it was a good idea to put in backups. Especially after a touchdown and the onside kick, they kept backups in. I thought it was a perfect time. That's when you go, all right, just bringing those starters back. We need a... But you know what I think it is, putting in those backups? It was injury concerns. Because they don't want a repeat of New York Jets when you're up by a lot and your guys are still in and everyone gets injured left and right. They don't want that again. They don't, and they already had lost Verrett. They're like, okay, we can't afford any losses. And we already lost a guy. Josh Norman's going to be in there. He's probably going to be our QB1 after that. Or CB1, excuse me. It's definitely going to be a challenge. I mean, looking at it all. I think, and then the Niners were talking like Shannon said, it's not out of the question getting back Sherman. I think before the trade deadline happens for the 49ers, they're going to be trading for a corner or a secondary guy. There's just no question. I think either that or a defensive tackle. I think the offense is pretty set in stone. Defense is kind of the question mark when it comes to health. And I think when the trade deadline comes and goes, I think the Niners are going to be looking at corner, maybe a safety, defensive tackle, but I think corner is going to be on the first of their minds when it comes to the trade deadline. But we shall see. And looking towards Philadelphia, it's going to be a challenge. Last time I checked, they were 3-point favorites. I'll double check again. But last time I checked, they were 3. The spread was 3 for the Niners against Philadelphia. -3 for the 49ers. Looking at it now, Looking at it right now, 3.5 points. So if you want to take a bet on the Niners right now, I think 3.5 points is a very safe bet to take right now before that spread gets higher. Beginning of the week last week, it was 7.5 spread for the Niners against Detroit. Then it went up to 9. And then that 9 kind of cost some people some money. So honestly, I would take the bet right now if I was you against Philadelphia. We'll get into more Friday or Saturday next show. We'll preview the Philadelphia Eagles game. Seeing who's available, who's starting, who's sitting, who's healthy, who's not. We'll talk all about that next time. But until then, my name is Jeff Malinoff, and stay faithful, y'all.